Hey guys, Josh from the Redneck Homestead channel. Thanks for joining us. It's been some time since I did my original introduction video. Actually, it was about 14 or 1500 subscribers ago, and we're just so thankful for all of the new friends and the new faces that have decided that they want to join up with us and come along for this crazy adventure that we call the Redneck Homestead channel. If you haven't had the opportunity to go back in the archives and take a look at the original introduction video, you should definitely go back and do that. You'll learn a little bit about who we are and what we're all about. A lot of things has changed, a lot of progress has been made, and now's, I guess, a good time to give you a quick update. Spring is really here in full swing. Actually, summer is tomorrow, and the first day of summer. And although we're kind of off to a bit of a slow start, we have a lot of projects and a lot of ambitions for this spring and this fall. And there are a lot of things we need to get done before the snow starts flying. I've had an opportunity to really play around a lot with the Central Machinery Harbor Freight Sawmill. I've cut up quite a bit of lumber, and I think I have identified the areas in that sawmill that need to be modified. So we're going to be coming out with some video on the modifications that are being made to that saw, and I think you're really going to enjoy them. For those of you who have had the opportunity to look at some of our videos on that, we've gotten a lot of feedback, a lot of comments that this is the saw for me, I'm going to go out and buy one. Several people have actually said they did indeed go out and buy one of these Harbor Freight sawmills, and all I've got to say to that is way to go, guys, thumbs up. You're really going to enjoy it. The setup is actually a breeze. The sawing of the logs is a breeze. However, you will probably sympathize with some of the problems that we had as you get to using your saw. But we look forward to sharing some of our redneck ideas and modifications to make this saw really, really cool. Another thing that we're going to be working on, or I'm going to be working on in the next few days, is I'm heading to the off-grid property up north. And I was up there a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and you would not believe the level of mud and swampification going on up there. It's on the side of a mountain, so we do have a lot of spring runoff, a lot of mountain runoff, and just a good crazy rainstorm will run off like crazy. And my drainage held up pretty well up there, but I never really built the driveway the way it needs to be built. I more roughed the driveway in last year, and now I really need to commit to getting that thing taken care of. It's a pretty major project. The driveway is about 1,200 feet long, and that brings us to about a 3/4 of an acre front yard that I've cleared. And then that, of course, leads us right up to the cabin site at the top of the hill, which the hill that's the front yard. So 1,200 feet of driveway is a lot of driveway to build, and there's a lot of material that needs to get brought in. The property is unusually fertile, and that's due mostly to the amount of water that exists. It's really surface water. There's not a lot of it's not wetland at all. It's just surface water and runoff, but it's created unbelievable soil. So I'm cutting through, oh boy, probably close to 2 feet. You can't see my hands because I'm so close to the camera, but 2 feet of loam. I mean, just material that farmers and gardeners would love. So I need to take all that material for 1,200 feet by about 20 feet wide. I'm going to make the driveway between 18 and 20 feet wide, and that's going to give me a ton of material. I need to get down below that loam, and then we're going to fill that driveway cut in with 6" minus crushed rock, essentially, and then we're going to put in 3/4 gravel on top, maybe top it off with some ledge pack. I want it to be a really well draining driveway that I can access year round. I want to be able to bring heavy equipment up and down the driveway without damaging it, and ideally I'd really like to be able to bring a 10-wheel dump truck in there so that we can move material in and out as necessary. And a proper driveway road is absolutely essential. I would encourage you to go back this past winter's videos and take a look at some of the craziness that we went through just to get my pickup truck up there. So, I mean, we would put chains on all fours. We would creep in 4-low, first gear, and, you know, when trying to traverse that mess in snow and ice, I mean, there's snow and then there's ice, and then below that is mud, due to some of the, well, that's another story. But I can't depend on my equipment to be bigger and better and badder than the conditions. I need to at least mitigate the conditions and make a road that makes sense. So, given that work has really preoccupied me this spring, my regular day job with computers and what have you, it has made it difficult for me to spend any meaningful time up at the property. Now, as you know from the Off-Grid Cabin series of videos, we do have a small cabin up there that is totally serviceable. It sure beats camping out in a tent, and it's ready to go. There's no excuse for me not to be up there except work. So as soon as I can carve some time out to be able to get up there in the next few days, I'm going to start working on that driveway. As soon as that driveway is done, and my guess is it's going to take me a couple of weeks to carve out enough time to do that, the plan is to get excavating for the main cabin that we're planning on building up there. So we have the small cabin, which is all well and good, but our family's growing, and it's nice to be able to spread out and have the comfort of, you know, actual bedrooms, an eating area, and so on and so forth. It's still totally off-grid, and we're not even getting involved with any solar panels or propane, anything. It's going to be totally grid down. But we need more space. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build a bigger cabin that we'll refer to as kind of the main cabin, and then we'll convert the small cabin that's up there right now into kind of like a kids' quarters. A place for the kids to hang out, a place for our friends to come. When our friends come up, they'll have their own private place to stay. And that project, I'd like to begin that by the second week in July if possible. And we're going to be doing everything totally on the cheap. We're going to be doing it inexpensively. We're going to be doing it with our own two hands, with our friends and our family helping us with the manpower and the labor. And thankfully, we have the service of the John Deere 450 dozer, crawler, dozer, loader, backhoe. We also have my 45,000-pound excavator up there. So I won't be relying on these little things here to do all the lifting, thankfully. And so that's a project that we look forward to taking you along for. There's a lot of cleanup, excavation-wise. At the lower part of the property, we cleared about an acre that we're going to be using for, you know, basically field, place for the kids to play and, you know, kick a soccer ball around and just, you know, be kids. If we have time this year, what I really want to do is I want to build a perimeter trail for patrol. And I want to be able to at least get a side-by-side, if not a full-size pickup, along this perimeter path, just so that we can keep our perimeter patrolled. It'll also double as a really cool four-wheeler trail for the kids. And, you know, you have to figure that trail is going to be, geez, what, 12, 34? It's going to be over a mile long. The property is 1,700 feet deep on each side and about 600 feet wide. So 34, 40, about a mile, just about a mile. So that'd be kind of cool to have that. I'm not sure whether we're going to actually have the time this season to pull that off. I have lofty goals, lofty ambitions, and sometimes, more often than not, my ambitions are far less realistic than they should be. But hey, like Donald Trump says, whether you like them or not, if you're going to be thinking at all, you might as well be thinking big. So, well, I think that's just about it, guys. I wanted to do this quick video to give you an idea of where we're heading over the next few months, and to give you an idea of where we've been and why I haven't been able to really crank out as many videos as I had hoped. But it's going to be a really cool summer. We're really excited. And if you're not yet a subscriber, we'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. Come on, join up with us. And it's going to be a pretty cool adventure, going from living totally on-grid to building, developing, and starting to move toward living completely off-grid. And we'd love to have you along for the adventure. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you're not yet a subscriber, please do subscribe. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks again.